Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Milestones of Financial Freedom. My name is Niyi Adeoshun, and I use this channel to take you from whichever point you are in your financial journey to your total financial freedom. I take you there one tip at a time, one step at a time, one milestone at a time. That's why we call this the milestones of financial freedom. Things that you can celebrate on your way to financial freedom. I want to thank you, my viewers, those that have been putting comments concerning all the episodes I've been putting out. I want to say thank you. I appreciate them. At least I know people are watching what I'm putting out. And if you want to make comments, please go ahead and do so. If there are some topics on personal finance that you want me to touch, just suggest it there, and we'll see what we can do about it. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so, because when any video drops, you'll be one of the first people to know about it. Thank you. Now, a few days ago, I sent out an email to my subscribers to my newsletter called Money Management Tips, and I used the analogy of the corridors principle with financial freedom. Life doesn't happen in a straight line. There are curves, there are bends, there are detours, there are obstructions on the way. Everything just doesn't happen like that. But because of the things that we need to do, because of the reasons I've been giving to you over the last few episodes, I've given you reasons why you need to take this journey to financial freedom. I've given you excuses and myths that people have been may have been giving themselves, things that may be stopping you from taking the journey, and what you need to do to get over it. One of the episodes I told you about you finding a reason to take the financial freedom. Beginning on the journey to financial freedom is like going into a tunnel, and you can't actually see any light at the end of the tunnel. But you know, if you take that journey, there's something good at the end of it. I want to tell you what happened to me when I took this journey to financial freedom. The corridor principle states that the mere act of starting a venture enables entrepreneurs to see other venture opportunities they could neither see nor take advantage of until they started their initial venture. Now, it's the same thing when you start on this journey to financial freedom. When you determine that you want to become financially free, there are some things that you need to begin to do. There are some things that you will begin doing which you wouldn't have done before. And once you step out to do those things, you will see opportunities opening up for you. Many of you know me as a money management coach. Some people know me that I've authored some books, but a few people know that I'm actually a publisher. And all these things came about after I began my journey to financial freedom. Now, one thing I have noticed that once you've got the money issue of your life straightened out, I'm not talking about a lot of money, but at least money is no longer a problem. You understand? You've set everything into place. Money that needs to be saved are being saved. Money that needs to be invested are being invested. Your debts are being taken care of, and you are working as hard as you could. Things will begin to fall into place. You will start seeing things clearer, so to speak. I didn't set out to become an author. All I just wanted to do was to get all the materials I could get on financial freedom. And I kept reading them, and I kept putting them into practice. After that, I started writing articles about how things have gone for me, things that I've experimented with, how they worked for me. If they've worked for me, I expected them to work for other people. So I started writing these little articles and putting them on my Facebook page. I have a website, my niyiadeoshun.com, where I put all these articles. So I started putting all these things. Now, fortunately for me, at that time, I had a coach, Tracy Repchuk. She suggested that I gathered everything that I got into at that particular time, put everything together, put them into a book. And I did. I had to do some work, because sometimes I just write some things because they come into my mind, but I had to do a little bit of work of putting them in the right order, and that was how the book, my first book, Milestones of Financial Freedom: Simple Steps for Conquering Debt and Building Wealth, actually came about. A year after my first book came out, my niece, Deborah, she was 13 years old at that time. She told me that she's written a story and she would like me to publish it. Okay. So I said, okay, I'll publish it, but I haven't done anything like this before. I only had it in mind that I will publish my own books. But she brought the idea that I published a book, so I decided to learn all I could learn about publishing books. So I did, and I used that knowledge to publish her book. Her first book was Cupcake Fairy Tale, and that was the first book I published for anybody. You understand? And since then up to now, I've published 6 of my own books and several for many other authors, including my pastors. Okay, now what I'm driving at is actually, when you decide to face your financial freedom head on, somehow windows of opportunity will start opening for you. You understand? It's like going into that corridor. You don't know what you're going to get at the very end. You know there is an end. There is an end, and the end is financial freedom. You understand? But the thing is, you need to take the step into that corridor. Get into it, and you'll start seeing doors of opportunities opening left, right, and center. Somebody who doesn't have money in savings, if an opportunity shows up, an opportunity of even £1,000, you can't take the opportunity because you don't have the money. You don't have the money because you have not taken the time to decide that you want to you want to get into your financial freedom. You want to achieve financial freedom. A man and his son were observing 3 cats that were playing on a fence. And the man asked his son, he said, if one of those cats decides to jump off the fence, how many will be left? The boy said 2. The man asked again. He said, if one of those cats decides to jump off the fence, how many will be left? The boy looked at his dad, said, yeah, 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. And the man told him, yes, you may be right, but you are not actually correct, because if one of them decides to jump off, he hasn't actually jumped off. There is a difference between deciding to do something and actually doing it. The 3 of those cats could decide to jump off, and you will still have 3 of them left on the fence. So this is what I'm trying to say. Deciding to do something and actually doing it, they're 2 different things. Many people would talk about their financial freedom and say, I'll get to it sometime. Sometime I'll get to it. Even though you know you need to take it, you need to take the journey, you need to begin working on your financial freedom right now. You cannot work till you are 65, 66, 70. You will not be able to work at that time. Is that when you want to start getting rid of your debt? Is that when you want to start saving for investments? It will be too late at that time. This is the time that you need to decide. This is the time that you need to take the bull by the horn and say, I want to make a change in my financial future. I hope I've been able to say something to you today, something for you to learn, something for you to grab hold upon. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. So you'll be one of the first people to know when we drop another video. I try not to make this video too long. I want to make them short because they're supposed to be tips. Financial tips, things that you can use easily. Hear them easily, use them easily, and they'll make your life better on your way to your financial freedom. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please put them below this video, at the bottom of this page, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I'll see you next time. Have a nice day. Bye.